So why'd you come to Journey for the first time? Hey, I'm Matt, and I bet you showed up because somebody invited you, right? That's true for most people who come here. So let me ask you another question. Why did you begin following Jesus? Again, I bet it's because somebody explained it to you and they invited you to follow Jesus. Isn't that how it usually works? And I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you don't harbor any grudges, you don't have any ill will towards the people who invited you to follow Jesus, or hopefully even towards the people who invited you to Journey, do you? So why are we often afraid to invite someone to experience church and, more importantly, explore following Jesus? Why does that scare us? Well, there are a few common reasons, and I get this. I'm with you. One, we don't feel like we know enough. We're afraid we're going to get asked questions we don't know the answers to, or sometimes I'm afraid I'm going to say something wrong or not going to be able to explain it well, or, if I bring it up, I'm going to get rejected when I start to talk about it, or sometimes we're afraid we're going to offend someone if we bring it up. That's a lot of fear to overcome, right? So in this video series, I want to help you address those fears, and I want to equip you with the tools that you need to talk about your relationship with Jesus with people that you care about and interact with. But first, let's talk about the why. Do you realize that God has strategically placed you where you are, and He has strategically placed the people in your life for a reason? It is not by accident. In Matthew 5, Jesus looked at His followers and He said, "You are the light of the world. You're like a city that's intentionally built on a hill so that everybody can see it. You're like a light that's purposefully placed in a home to illuminate the room. You are where you are for a reason." So Jesus says to you and to me, this is so powerful. He says, let your light shine where you are, right? So people will see your good works and they'll glorify your Father in heaven. So according to Jesus, you have been strategically placed where you are for a purpose. Now, I understand for a lot of us, where we are, it just feels random. We just happen to be where we are, doing what we're doing, living where we're living, because that's how it all worked out, right? Or this is just where I was raised, or I didn't have any other options. But I want you to think about the person or the persons that God has used to get your attention and that He used to draw you towards them. Maybe it was a next door neighbor, maybe it was someone at a gym, or maybe it was a Sunday school teacher or small group leader when you were a kid, or maybe it was your boss or a coworker or a coach. Okay, we've all got somebody that God has used to point us to Jesus. And isn't it true that you feel like God placed those people in your life for a reason? Well, listen, in the same way, you are where you are for a reason. It is not random. It is not accidental. You're the light of your location. So here's my question for you. What can you do where you are to connect the dots for people between how you live, the good that you do, the way you love, and connect the dots between all of that and why you do it? In other words, how can you use your life to point people towards Jesus? Because that's your purpose. You're the light of the world. And in the next session, we'll begin exploring what it actually looks like practically to partner with God and to be that light, because that's the opportunity that we all have.